I'd like to call this meeting of the Board of Education to order. Public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been given by the Board Secretary on June 25th, 2025 in the following manner. Posted notice on the school bulletin board at the Administration Building, transmitted to the Courier Post, Philadelphia Inquirer, and the Clerk of Cherry Hill Township. Please rise and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Augustine, can you please call the roll?
Dr. Braddock,
Here.
Mrs. Sherfain,
Here.
Dr. Dreisen,
Here.
Mrs. Gallagher,
Here.
Mr. Greenbaum,
Here.
Mr. Mayor,
Here.
Ms. Palmer is absent, Ms. Stern,
Here.
and Mrs. Winters.
Here. Thank you. We have sadly no board recognition tonight, which is usually my favorite thing. No presentations this evening, but we do have an administrative report. Ms. Augustine is going to provide us with an update on the APRs.
Thank you. I reached out to New Road Construction, who is our construction management company. I attend the weekly Thursday meetings for updates on all the projects and had asked them to provide me with an update on our APRs. At this point, the goal is still for the 31st of the month, and they are actually having another meeting again tomorrow to confirm that we are still on target for that. They have been coordinating with the township to receive all their certificates of occupancy, and some might be a temporary certificate of occupancy, but as of right now, that's the most up-to-date information. So by next week, we should know for sure if we're still on target for all of them to be on the 31st. Yes.
Thank you. Do any board members have questions about the APRs? Are any other board members walking past the APRs in their neighborhoods and going, I can't wait to see when it's open? I absolutely can't wait. Thank you so much, Ms. Augustine, for that update. It's very exciting. Moving on to correspondence. Is there any correspondence that board members would like to share? I will start with Dr. Braddock on that side of the room.
None to report.
None. Oh, the library. Dr. Dreisen can do that one.
None. None. Thank you.
I guess they want me to talk about the library. So we've had for the past few summers a relationship between the board and the Cherry Hill Public Library where we go over to the library to promote summer reading. The library has been extremely generous in having the summer reading books available for students. They order new books every year because we have a different theme every year. They're very helpful to students who come in and are looking for books, but inevitably every summer around this time, somebody asks, I don't have a copy of the book. Where can I get a copy of the book? So every summer, the library has collaborated with us in promoting on social media and elsewhere the synergy between the district and the library. So I went over there last week, joined by Ms. Stern and Dr. Dreisen. We took a couple of silly pictures. There's a social media post up today. Hopefully everybody's getting a laugh at our expense and remembering they're supposed to be doing their summer reading. So I look forward to continued collaboration with the library in the future. We were talking about its library card signups in September, and then Banned Books Week is coming in October. So if there are any other board members who could be enticed to go over, hang out at the library and talk about books with me, it's something I always love to do. And I think it's really neat for the community resource that is the library to have that connection with our students and with the board. Any other correspondence on this side of the table?
No.
Mr. Mayor? No.
None.
None. Mr. Fain?
None.
Thankful for a quiet summer, right, everybody? We'll be right back in action in September with all those back to school nights. All right, moving on to our student representatives. I think we are going to start with High School East tonight. Dr. Braddock's giving me a look. I don't know if it's true. I'm going to go with it. High School East.
Starting with academics, a successful Common Application and Naviance Summer Workshop was held on Wednesday, July 2nd for the class of 2026, and the second free session will be held at the East Library at 2:30 p.m. and 6 p.m. on Tuesday, August 5th. Several East teachers have been hosting summer enrichment classes, which began on Monday, July 14th and will end on Friday, July 25th, with more than 50 classes being offered to students in grades 6 through 10. Moving on to activities, the first round of senior portraits took place from Monday, July 7th through Thursday, July 10th, and the second round will occur from Monday, August 11th through Thursday, August 14th, from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Rising seniors Muskan Batra and Ronak Pathak are currently representing East at the prestigious New Jersey Governor's School, which is a selected program for students excelling in STEM. Muskan is at Rutgers University for the Governor's School of Engineering and Technology, while Ronak is at Drew University for the Governor's School in the Sciences. Congratulations to Muskan and Ronak. East will host this year's National Night Out on Tuesday, August 5th from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. The community-wide event seeks to bring residents together for an evening of fun featuring games, music, food, prizes, and interactive demonstrations. East's 9-time state champion robotics teams have begun meeting preparing to build, no pun intended, on the success from previous years. And finally, with athletics, East lacrosse, basketball, cross country, soccer, cheer, football, field hockey, wrestling, and volleyball teams are back to practicing as they gear up for the season ahead. And overall, we hope all East students are enjoying their summer breaks, completing their summer reading, and ready for the upcoming school year.
Thank you. Moving on to High School West.
So summer break has officially begun, and after all final exams and graduation occurred in the month of June. Depending on what classes they have signed up for in the fall, some students have summer work to complete, and all students are working on their summer reading assignments. Throughout the summer, West has been hosting ESY and other academic programming. As for athletics, West's fall sports registration opened last month on June 16th. During July, many of West's athletic teams began their summer practices and workout sessions in preparation for the fall athletic season. Additionally, West's home stadium is currently under construction for upgrades. Due to this, nobody is permitted inside the stadium area until construction is complete. Speaking of construction, the inside of West is getting some upgrades as well. New flooring is being put throughout all of D-Wing. The rest of West is being cleaned and prepared for the upcoming school year. West also held a fireworks show on July 3rd, which included live music and food trucks for the entire Cherry Hill community. The rainy weather finally cleared and the show was a success. We hope students are enjoying their break and will come back to school ready to take on the new year.
Thank you so much. All right, moving on to first public comment. There will be 2 opportunities for public comment this evening. This first public comment session is for board action items only, which tonight are items 17 through 21. And there will be another public comment section for any topic at the end of the meeting. Give me 1 second. I'm going to revise that because that is incorrect. I'm sorry. I'm reading what's on the sheet. We have action items tonight 13 to 18. So I apologize. Action items tonight are 13 through 18. There will be another public comment section for any topic at the end of the meeting. If you are a student in the district, you may comment on any agenda item during this first public comment period, and students will be given the opportunity to speak first. If you would like to speak, please identify the agenda item and clearly state your name and your municipality. We will alternate between speakers in the room and those that are online. Each speaker will be given a maximum of 3 minutes to speak, and the timer on the screen will indicate the amount of time you have remaining. Public comment is an opportunity for members of the community to comment on matters relevant to the operations of the Cherry Hill Public School District or within the authority of the Cherry Hill Board of Education. The board welcomes diverse opinions on relevant matters. Under established federal law governing reasonable restrictions on speech and public forums, statements which demean individual community members or groups or which are irrelevant to the operations of the school district or repetitious will not be permitted. Community members who would like to present information not relevant to the school district are always welcome to communicate directly to the district superintendent, board president, and all board members via email or other alternative means. As is our custom, I will start in the room. Is there anyone who would like to come up at this point and do first public comment on an agenda item?
Ann Einhorn, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. 16.9, the position of the support specialist, Title I. There's no job description, so I don't really know what that entails. And it would be nice to know what it does entail, how many you're thinking of hiring, or if it's just a transfer of words from one position to another. I just a little confused about that. 18.1, the section under community engagement. I noticed that there was really still not an area for people like myself to be represented in that. I've forgotten what this thing is called, but and it's really disappointing. Okay, You have a big communications committee. There's still not a way for someone like myself and others in the community without children within the school community to find out what's going on with the schools. I did read through the whole thing. The other thing that really worried me was the timeline for the elementary redistricting. Okay, and who was on that committee? Has it changed, or is it still the same people that originally Oprah? Because if it's that list, then I don't find that list representative of the elementary schools that will be most involved in the process, and that worries me. And your timeline's quite short, unless there's a lot of work that's being done by this committee that, I personally am not aware of. So I have a real worry about that timeline, because this is a very critical move by the Board of Education and our staff, to do the right thing and to do it well. I don't think 3 months is enough time. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. I'm looking online. We have a caller, phone number ending in 788. It's your turn. Please unmute and give us your public comment.
Hi, my name is Jeff Potterwitz, and I live in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. This is 14.7. 14.7. It starts out, whereas the Special Education Department has compiled a list of private providers qualified to perform professional communications, consultations, and services. So this is going to be accounted for under special education. All right? We'll start with, it says Medford Family, Psychiatry, overall psychiatric services. Okay, it's going to be $500 for an APN, advanced practice nurse evaluation for 0 tolerance if 3 or more. So it's going to be $500, and that's okay. But you've decided that you didn't have to do any. You've decided that you didn't have to do any bidding. Okay, you don't have to, but it would be nice if you did. But the problem with that is that what will this be what's the total cost of this going to be? So I would limit what the total cost is. You could always come back to about $150,000, not carte blanche, but $150,000, which should be more than enough. If it's not, you could always add to it. It says the APN will be $500. So by an APN, but then there's something else that confuses me. Again, it's $350 an hour school district staff consultation. Is this about the school district staff? Is that the school district staff? Is that personal for the staff? And it's going to be $350 amount per hour, and we're providing that service to the staff. Is it specific to a student that is under their supervision or care? This doesn't make this clear. It doesn't make it clear. So the $350 an hour school district staff consultation has to be clarified, because it could mean exactly what I told you. Maybe it's consultation for staff themselves, like they're going for consultation. The next one, Leah Grainer Kennedy, World Language Professional Development and Curriculum Writing. Well, we have a lot of administrators. You could do your own curriculum writing. I don't know why you need an outsider to do it. That confuses me. Why are you doing this in the first place? Plus the fact, what does it have to do with special education, to be under the auspices of special education? It's not. It's World Language Professional Development. What do you need? Well, you need someone who's good. I could see a professor in speech and language professor. You could specifically about, let's say, DLD, developmental language disorder, or someone who's a reading specialist about reading. That's
Thank you,
about
Dr.
reading.
Potowitz. Dr. Potowitz,
Yes.
thank you for your comment. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Going back to the room, is there anyone else who would like to make first public comment tonight? Please approach the microphone, give us your name and municipality.
Rick Short, Cherry Hill. 14.7, and this has to do with Leah Grainer Kennedy, herself personally. I do question this. It's kind of atypical for this district to again, find the most radical people that they possibly can in America. I did a little research. There's 43,000, I think, consultants that you could have possibly picked, but you picked this consultant that said in a pre-show, we know that some big challenges were teaching languages in a face of a pandemic, a climate crisis, systemic racism, violence, bigotry, and a completely divided nation. So these are her words. These are her thoughts. And again, I would encourage you to vote no for this person. Why do we need more radical consultants in our district influencing our kids for the same old, same old? Oh, all our students are being taught to be oppressed. Yes, they're being taught to be oppressed when they face a climate crisis, systemic racism, violence, bigotry, and a completely divided nation. So this woman that's going to be working with our district fits right in with the motto, the most radical school district in New Jersey. So when does it ever stop? When do we ever get back to the 3 R's? Because you constantly, this board constantly defends these radical people. I mean, it sounds radical to me what you just said. You know, systemic racism is out of control and there's violence and bigotry everywhere. Like, how did you find this woman? It's mind-boggling. Again, over 43,000 different consultants, and you have to bring this woman in to help write the curriculum for language. And you're defending them. And you're all going to vote yes, aren't you? I hope you don't. I hope you vote no. Take a stand once. Is everything really systemic racist in this town? Or does these administrators constantly feed us that we're all systemically racist? Pretty cut and dry, folks. Vote no, please.
Thank you for your comment. Going back to the line, I don't see anyone with a hand raised online. Going back to the room, is there anyone else who would like to make first public comment this evening? Please approach the microphone, give us your name and municipality.
Dr. Yoni Yaris, Cherry Hill. We're going to start with 16.3. Just want to say thank you to Dr. Morton for everything he's done, especially to the person in the back, Dr. Rick, who held the Kilmer community together these past 2 months. I am so excited to have Mr. Sweeney come back to Cherry Hill and come home, especially to come to Kilmer. His experience at Barton, like, you could not make a better match than that. Just so thank you. We're really excited to see what happens. We know everything he did at Barton, and it's only going to be better because more experience means we get the better side of things. Also want to look at 16.5. Miss Giordano and I've gotten to know each other through things I've done in this district. She is fantastic. What she's done at the alternative school in Coles is just incredible. If you've not gone over a chance to visit it and see what she's done, go do so, especially before she heads over to Johnson. She's going to be incredible. What's amazing now is that we have had teachers for years and people complain there was no pipeline. The pipeline has returned. And a lot of that deals with Dr. Martin coming in and saying that we've got amazing staff and we want to retain them. And that makes a really big difference in the culture, because when you're in Cherry Hill, someone like me who's been here far too long, that having that retention, having that face where you started in the classroom, you see them now moving gradually up, it means for continuation. It gives you institutional memory, but also they come with new perspective. Like, oh, we need the outside. I'm like, no, we don't. We've got people who understand, who are constantly learning, going through PD, that I can tell you as an educator, we are constantly being forced to learn new things. And that we're not going to get stale. And the people who attract Cherry Hill aren't stale because they know Cherry Hill isn't a stale district. But we're always looking to innovate. We're always looking for new things. And we've created, especially through the LMC, a culture of collaboration far more than anywhere else that brings everyone together and enables us to bring back a Mr. Sweeney, allow someone like Mr. Giordano to now take her magic and go from the alternative school into Johnson. We're going to see that there is her expertise, especially with students who are wary of going to school. There is a massive attendance crisis. And it even starts in elementary school, which is scary. And to have that come through and be able to bring that forward is huge. So thank you. We're really excited. It's always the best part when you get to hire new people. So thanks.
Thank you for your comment. Looking online, I don't see anyone with a hand raised. Going back into the room, is there anyone else who would like to make public comment? I see a future student coming up to make public comment.
Alana Yaris, Cherry Hill. I think it's 16.3. This one is very excited that in 5 years, his principal will be the same principal that my older kids have. So, Mr. Sweeney, please stay a long time. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. There's no one else with a hand raised online. Going back to the room, is there anyone else who would like to come up for first public comment? I don't see anyone in the room. I don't see anyone online, and I'm going to close first public comment. And now we have superintendent comments.
Thank you very much, Ms. Winters. So the summer is moving right along. This summer has been going great. Summer programs are in full effect. Most importantly, if you've had an opportunity to drive around town, you'll see that there is massive construction taking place just about at every school across the district. I'm happy to report that that construction is moving right along. It's moving along beautifully, quite frankly. And we're excited to see the fruition of, all of the investment from our community as these projects come on board and come alive. With summer construction, there's still the responsibility for summer cleaning and to, ultimately get our buildings up to speed and ready for the return of students ultimately in September. So that work is taking place. So kudos to Steve Nicolella and his team, members of Buildings and Grounds, and those within the buildings as well. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Schimpf, our BA. You may not have recognized him without his shirt and tie, but he spent the day here with us today, and he's eagerly anticipating his start date on August 25th. Welcome, sir. Welcome to you. Just to clarify the record, Ms. Granick Kennedy is not involved with special education. She's actually worked and supported our world language program for many years, helping to revise and write curriculum. She will be doing the same. She's done a great job, and we're looking forward to her coming in and working with our staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to the action agenda portion of the meeting, I'm going to toss it to Mr. Mayor to move the approval of appointments.
Certainly, the superintendent recommends, and I move the following item 13.1, the recommendation of the appointment of George Guy as director, who is the current director of elementary education, also be appointed affirmative action officer for the board. Do I have a second? Mr. Greenbaum, are there any questions? Okay, we're not taking the vote right now. We are taking a vote? In that case, Ms. Augustine, would you be so kind as to open the voting?
Voting is open. Voting is unanimous. Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to CNI, superintendent recommends, and I move the following. 14.1, approval of attendance at conferences and workshops for the 25-26 school year. 14.2, approval of out-of-district student placement for the 25-26 school year. 14.3, approval of professional service agreements for the 25-26 school year. 14.4, resolution to approve research study. 14.5, resolution to approve research study. And 14.6, approval of evaluation models for the 25-26 school year. Do I have a second? Dr. Braddock, are there any questions on the CNI agenda this evening? Seeing no questions, Ms. Augustine, please open the vote.
Voting is open. Voting is unanimous. Motion carries.
Thank you. Mr. Greenbaum, can you please move the BNF agenda?
Thank you. The superintendent recommends, and I move the following. 15.1, approval of minutes Board working session, special action meeting minutes and executive session minutes dated June 10th, 2025. 15.2, approval of minutes, regular meeting minutes and executive session minutes dated June 24th, 2025. 15.3, financial reports. 15.4, resolution for the award of transportation. 15.5, resolution authorizing submission of the Water Infrastructure Improvement Grant. 15.6, approval of IDEA fiscal year 25-26 budgets. 15.7, resolution authorizing the disposal of obsolete textbooks. And 15.8, resolution approving National Cooperative Award of Contract. Do I have a second? Ms. Trefane, are there any questions? Seeing none, Ms. Augustine, please open the voting.
Voting is open.
Ms. Augustine, on 15.3, I just have to recuse myself from the second bill list. I recuse myself from anything with Beata. Its employer. Thank you.
Ms. Augustine, I'm also recusing myself from anything related to Cooper and Bill List 2 and 15.3.
Ms. Augustine, similarly, I have to recuse myself from payment invoice to ESS to avoid a conflict of interest.
Okay, with the exception of the recusals for Beata on Bill List number 2 by Dr. Dreisen and Mrs. Sherfane for payments to Cooper and a recusal for payments to ESS by Mr. Mayor, we have a unanimous vote and motion carries.
Thank you. Ms. Sherfane, can you please move the HR agenda?
Sure. The superintendent recommends and I move the following: 16.1, termination of employment certificated; 16.2, termination of employment non-certificated; 16.3, appointments certificated; 16.4, appointments non-certificated; 16.5, assignment salary change certificated; 16.6, assignment salary change non-certificated; 16.7, leaves of absence certificated; 16.8, leaves of absence non-certificated; 16.9, approval of job description; 16.10, other compensation certificated; 16.11, other compensation non-certificated; and 16.12, approval of sidebar agreement. Do I have a second? Ms. Winters. Any questions, comments? Ms. Stern. Just a couple of comments. I know we haven't voted yet, but I'm believing that we are welcoming Mr. Sweeney back to Cherry Hills. Nice to see you again. Want to congratulate Mrs. Giordano and Ms. Wong, and thank you to Dr. Rick so very much for always stepping in. So just congratulations. It's nice to see homegrown folks staying within the district, keeping it fresh and interesting and changing it up and returning. It's lovely to have such talent. Any other comments, questions? Ms. Gallagher?
Actually, yeah, no, a comment was made during first public comment about the job description for the support specialists new is that it's not linked under the, all the job descriptions that are linked are SAC related. Is there a way that that job title can be provided?
Somebody that knows the answer to the question? That would be Ms. Lieber.
Okay, great, thanks.
Dr. Morgan?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we apologize for the omission. It was, the position itself was discussed during the HR committee meeting, but we'll make sure that we get that posted out and sent out to everyone. Yes.
Any other comments, questions? All right, Ms. Augustine, can you open the voting?
Voting is open. Voting is unanimous. Motion carries.
Absolutely. And with that, the board just approved the appointment of 3 key administrative positions. I want to have a chance to formally introduce them and give them an opportunity to share a few words. We'll begin with Ms. Wendy Wong. Ms. Wong has been with us in Cherry Hill Public Schools for, you can come up to the microphone, I'm just giving you time. She's been with us for over 2 decades, having had the opportunity to serve at both the elementary and middle level. She is an expert educator, extremely dedicated. If you've been part of any of the work that's taken place, committee meetings, curricular work, she's typically been a part of it. We're very excited for her to join our team here as a new CNI supervisor specializing in secondary math and science. Ms. Wong.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very excited for this great role, and I hope to continue the great work my predecessors started. So thank you for the opportunity.
Next up, I'm extremely overjoyed to introduce Mr. Well, there's no real introduction needed, but Mr. Sean Sweeney as the incoming principal for Joyce Kilmer Elementary School, a place that is near and dear to my heart. And you know, when we think about Kilmer, we want to make sure we provide them with the best and the brightest. And we believe that Mr. Sweeney is just that. Mr. Sweeney.
Thank you, Dr. Morton, and thanks to the administrative team and the board members here tonight for giving me the opportunity to return. You know, I was here in Cherry Hill for nearly 10 years, and reflecting on things, they've been the most rewarding years of my professional career thus far, and I look forward to building on them and having the opportunity to lead the Kilmer community, students, staff, and families. It's just very exciting. So thank you again.
Awesome. So I know you're going to be around for a while because you're going to have to wait for that little one right there, or that cutie pie to grow up. And thank you so much to Dr. Rick, my buddy as well. We definitely appreciate your efforts and, you know, all that you've done at Kilmer. Been amazing. And last but not least, a person who really needs no introduction, Ms. Lauren Giordano. Ms. Giordano has truly been a breath of fresh air, bolts of inspiration and lightning. She's done a phenomenal job over at the Coles program, truly like transforming that program and making it into the special program that it is today. Definitely a loss for the Coles community, but a major gain for the Johnson community. She's a Cherry Hill lifer. I don't know what else needs to be said. Lauren Giordano.
I'm just gonna go on my dues. It's always an issue for me when I'm here. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody here and the Coles community, the students, the parents, and the staff. They were very invested in my success and pushed me to be better every day that I was there. I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for them. And I'm incredibly humbled and grateful at the opportunity to serve in a different capacity. And I really look forward to joining the Johnson community. Thank you.
All joy. I love it. Mr. Mayor, can you please move the P&L agenda?
I can. The superintendent recommends, and I move the following item 17.1, approval of harassment, intimidation, bullying investigation decisions. Those were those that the board heard on July the 8th. 17.2, first reading of policy 5111, resident and non-resident students. And 17.3, second reading of policies 8110, attendance areas, 8454, management of pediculosis, otherwise known as lice. All 3 of the policies on for this evening are without any adjustment or a language change from when they were first placed before the board. Do I have a second? Mrs. Stern, are there any questions? Seeing none, Ms. Augustine, would you please open the voting?
Voting is open.
Ms. Augustine, I need to abstain from 17.1 as I was not present.
Ms. Augustine, I'm no on 17.2.
Okay, we have one no for 17.2 and one abstention for 17.1. Other than that, the motion carries.
Thank you. The superintendent recommends, and I move the following: 18.1, approval of strategic plan. Do I have a second? Dr. Braddock, are there any questions? Ms. Augustine, please open the vote.
Voting is open. We have 3 no's, but the motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to new business. Are there any board members with new business this evening? I think we have a couple.
All right, kind of new old business. I would like to just bring up the fact that we are now officially restarting the redistricting process, elementary school redistricting. The committee will be Dr. Braddock, Mr. Mayor, and myself being chair of the committee. So we hopefully will have more information in the upcoming meetings about where we are with that, and we'll be as inclusive and transparent as possible with everything that's going to be going on with redistricting.
Thank you, Ms. Sherfain, and thank you for taking on the chairpersonship of elementary districting. We appreciate it. Dr. Dreisen?
Sure, 2. First, a public service announcement, and this is from the Camden County website. To run as a candidate for the Board of Education in the November general election, your petition must be filed with the county clerk's office before 4 p.m. on or before the last Monday of July preceding the November school election. And so that means for the upcoming November 2025 election, the deadline would be this upcoming Monday, July 28th. So if you're interested in joining the party. And then the second, if I may, just a brief other new business item. So I just want to put my perspective on the record. At the recent NEA 2025 Representative Assembly in Portland, Oregon, a recommendation was sent to the executive committee that NEA not partner with the Anti-Defamation League, or the ADL. As many of us know, for years, the ADL has provided educational resources about anti-Semitism and the Holocaust in American schools. Following the culmination of a review process, NEA's board of directors voted not to implement this proposal, noting that the proposal would not further NEA's commitment to academic freedom, its membership, or its goals. I just want to publicly echo a joint statement that was made from the Jewish community leaders, including the ADL CEO, the American Jewish Committee, AJC CEO, the Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations, COO, and the Jewish Federations of North American Executive Vice President, in that I welcome the NEA Executive Committee and Board of Directors' decision to, and I quote, reject this misguided resolution that was rooted in exclusion and othering and promoted for political reasons. As noted in the joint statement, and I quote, this resolution was not just an attack on the ADL, but a larger attack against Jewish educators, students, and families. I want to publicly thank the nearly 400 Jewish and community organizations and dozens of elected officials around the country, including here in Cherry Hill, who made clear their concerns about this dangerous and anti-Semitic resolution. As NEA President Becky Pringle said in a statement, and I quote, there is no doubt that anti-Semitism is on the rise. Sheila Katz, National Council of Jewish Women, CEO, said, and I quote, Jewish students and teachers are walking into schools each day with a growing sense of fear of being targeted, harassed, or silenced simply for being Jewish. Schools should be places of safety and belonging, not places where anyone feels unwelcome or unsafe. Fortunately, NEA President Betsy Pringle affirmed, and I quote, without equivocation, NEA stands strongly against anti-Semitism. We always have and we always will. Our Jewish students and educators deserve nothing less. Like the joint statement from Jewish community leaders, I am personally committed to working with the NEA and all teachers unions in whatever capacity I can, quote, in making clear these hateful campaigns cannot succeed. We must redouble efforts to ensure that Jewish educators are not isolated and subjected to anti-Semitism in their unions, and that students are not subjected to it in the classroom. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other board members in new business? Ms. Gallagher?
I will make this quick. So on Monday, July 7th, the governance committee met at 5 p.m. in the conference room. And the only topic we discussed was the superintendent evaluation. Bless you. And how best to interpret best practices and making sure that all board members' comments were reflected in the final report that we all discussed and then that was submitted. Do any of the other committee members have any comments? Does anybody else have any comments or questions? All right, thank you.
Thanks. The preschool committee, small but mighty, also met. We met on July 15th. We discussed goals around preschool. We discussed the preparation for the upcoming, before we know it, 25-26 academic year with the opening of the our classrooms, both in district and private provider sites, and then the 16 additional classrooms that will open in January from the ROD grant additions. We discuss the success of Right at School, which has been providing before and after care at Malberg. I think everybody from that building has been very happy with that program, and that they will be providing care for the additional Malberg and Kilmer classes beginning in January as well. And one thing I did want to bring up, which was really neat, is there is going to be a Cherry Hill preschool roundup on Monday, August 11th at Jake's Place for preschool families to come. It is an awesome group of community organizations who will be supporting, including Cherry Hill Police and Fire, Goldfish Swim School, Lakeshore Learning, the library, Food Trust, Book Smiles, and the bus company. And there will be a bus for the preschoolers to explore. I am super excited. I will be there walking around. If any other board members wish to join me and come celebrate preschool with the preschool families, it's going to be a really neat event. So to get us started for this year. Oh, and everybody gets a free book from Book Smiles. So what's better than a free book? So that was pretty neat. We also talked about preschool expansion opportunities for the 26-27 year and beyond, and several opportunities in the community to continue to expand our preschool program. So everybody stay tuned. We will submit our plan for expansion in October to the state, and we'll have more information coming soon. Mr. Mayor, as the only other preschool committee member, do you have anything to add?
Just that you did a wonderful job in relating the discussions that we had in the committee meeting. Well done.
Thank you. Look at that. I glow with praise. Any other questions from board members about the preschool committee? No, I'm just really excited to see preschool continue to expand and move forward. And the Malberg Early Childhood Building is in my neighborhood, and every time I walk by it, I'm so excited to see all the progress that's being made in the construction. It's really amazing to watch. I think, does anybody else have new business? Moving on to old business. Does anybody have any old business? Dr. Dreisen.
Yes, for old business, just items 20.2 in our July 8th Board of Education meeting, the Comprehensive Equity Plan. I just wanted to have an opportunity. I had an opportunity to review it, and I just wanted to go on record as being supportive of it. I just wanted to reiterate that my abstention in the last meeting concerned proper governance and had nothing to do with the Comprehensive Equity Plan. Submission of the plan was past its due date, so tabling the vote until all board members had time to review it would not have had any impact. We as a board have talked about holding each other accountable. And so moving forwards, my hope is that board members who voted against tabling it to allow time for review will choose to prioritize proper governance in the future.
Thank you for your comment. Any other board members have any old business? All right, moving on to second public comment. This is the second public comment section for any topic. If you would like to speak now, please identify the agenda item and clearly state your name and municipality. We will alternate between speakers in the room and those that are online, and each speaker will be given a maximum of 3 minutes to speak. The timer on the screen will indicate the amount of time you have remaining. Give me 1 second. Public comment is an opportunity for members of the community to comment on matters relevant to the operations of Cherry Hill Public School District or within the authority of Cherry Hill Board of Education. The board welcomes diverse opinions on relevant matters under established federal law governing reasonable restrictions on speech in public forums. Statements which demean individual community members or groups or which are irrelevant to the operations of the school district or repetitious will not be permitted. Community members who would like to present information not relevant to the school district are always welcome to communicate directly to the district superintendent, board president, and all board members via email or other alternative means. By custom, we start in the room. Is there anyone who would like to kick us off for the second public comment period? community members being kind to each other.
I won't even say anything. Ann Einhorn, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. So I want to go back to your 5-year plan. There was a section, I can't remember, but I think it was you're promoting community forums. What's the definition of an ambassador? You know, I don't know what that means. And the other thing is under retention, recruitment and retention, my question is, are we doing exit interviews? We had some significant people, in my opinion, leaving this year. So do we find out why they're leaving? Because as you move forward, then you need to know some of the nuances of maybe it's a negative situation for them, or, you know, I know there's always opportunities to move forward in one's life, but the one person was only here, I think maybe 2 years, and that was really disappointing because I felt from public comment that they were doing an excellent job, and it's kind of disturbing to me that we'd lose somebody so quickly. But I'd really like to know about this ambassador thing. What does that mean? Okay, because earlier in the year, going back to this, I guess I'm going to say the elementary redistricting committee, which is what was called initially. You know, there were all these people on there that were going to disseminate information to the community, but I don't know who those people are, and I don't know where they're disseminating community information. And what troubles me about that, it's always one thing to have a conversation, but then to be able to remember every nuance of that conversation and what the concerns may be and what the solutions may be does not necessarily get to that same initial conversation information. And for me, that can be a problem, particularly in Cherry Hill, because you know that some are very, very involved. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Looking online, I see a phone number ending in 788. It's your turn if you could unmute and give us your public comment.
Name is Jeff Podowitz. I live in Cherry Hill. Starting with going back to what is now 14.3 about the world language professional development and curriculum. Again, what concerns me is that it's considered for accounting purposes under special education, and it in no way is. That means if she is working at all on preschool curriculum, that means that will not be counted under costs for preschool expansion. Her salary should be if she in fact is doing that. I am but anyway you look, it's going to look like that you're spending more money on special education, which in fact you are not. So I am concerned about it. And as for preschool expansion, I've been following this since about 20 years, since the beginning of SFRA. I ran the numbers in my mind then. I know we're not getting enough dollars per pupil from the state right now. And moving forward with the amount of kids we'll be adding, it has the capacity to sink this community and sink the education. Much, much too much. Much, much too much actual costs. All right? There's an article to read from the long wait for full funding under capped aid from New Jersey Education Aid. It's from October of 2016. In it, there's a reference to the Cherry Hill School District. Let's look at two badly underrated but above adequacy suburbs, Cherry Hill and West Orange. For 2016-2017, Cherry Hill will get $13.1 million in state aid, but it's uncapped aid. What we should have gotten was $39.9 million. That's well over a $35 million difference. Note, for 2026-2027, we're supposed to be getting $18 million. How can we pay for anything? Okay, what makes it worse is that back then, our local fair share, we were over our local fair share by $34 million. We were getting cheated back then. We're getting cheated even worse now. Maybe not this year, but for that 2026-2027, we are really being cheated down to $18 million in aid. Where the heck are we going to pay for this? Where? All right? It's not special. That preschool expansion per pupil costs a lot more than we're getting. People need to consider it. I don't care how the state's telling you to do accounting. it is going to hurt this community and this district, especially when you ramp up to 1,800 to 2,000 students. All right, and I believe the state is the way the state is asking you to account and hiding.
Thank you for your comments tonight. Thank you. Going back to the room, I see a young student coming to the microphone and his wonderful mother.
Alana Yaris Cherry Hill, Chair of the Fair Funding Committee, a subcommittee of the Zone PTA. I invite the board, but also the public, especially Dr. Podowitz, who calls in all the time to talk about funding for the Cherry Hill Public Schools, to attend fair funding meetings. They're online, they're on Zoom. If you can't see, I'm holding a baby. He's usually in attendance. Doesn't make any noise there either. So really email fairfundingchps@gmail.com. We will start in September with meetings again. And in a township that has 70,000 people living in it, I'd like more than 10 people on. We have new and interesting ways to be heard at the state level for the upcoming year. We're working on that behind the scenes during the summer, but please email fairfundingchps@gmail.com and join the Fair Funding Committee. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Going back online, there's a phone number ending in 891. It's your turn. Please unmute, give us your name and municipality. That person has put their hand down, so I'm going to move to the next person online, which is Dr. Sarah Jocelyn. It's your turn. You can unmute and give us your name and municipality.
Hi, this is Sarah Jocelyn. I am a Cherry Hill resident. I want to congratulate Mr. Guy on being appointed as the Affirmative Action Officer. I look forward to the outcome from the review by the Camden County executive of our comprehensive equity plan. And I look forward also to a public presentation of the equity plan at a future meeting, or at least having it present on the website so it can be reviewed. I thank the board for moving forward on the strategic plan, and I look forward to seeing the minutes so I can understand who voted no. I thank you all for the work that you're doing. I'm glad to see that we are getting organized for the district elementary school reorganization plan. And I thank you all for the actions that you're taking in the summer to be prepared for our fall sessions. Welcome to our new people, and thank you for those that have served. Have a good day.
Thank you for your comment. Going back to the room, is there anyone else who would like to make second public comment this evening? Please approach the microphone now.
Richard Cherry Hill. I've been coming to these meetings, trying to figure out maybe 10 years. And anytime I hear something that's like monumental, I always record it and keep it. I just kind of always remember in my head what I remember. So there was one board meeting when Joel Mayer was talking about anti-Semitism and how he understands it and how he's prosecuted. You can give me an exact quote. He's prosecuted neo-Nazis, but this board allows radical consultants that hate America, hate cops, and you defend them. You keep them among us, right? I've sent you the video of the Abolitionist Teaching Network and their beliefs. They're crazy. You know, it's like, you know, these are our consultants. These are the people we surround ourselves with. Dr. Braddock, no, I won't forget that either. Dr. Braddock says he can identify any radical people. But how can Dr. Braddock not identify Dr. Love, Dr. Kinde, Dr. Greason, Dr. Muhammad? Now, tonight's speech I hope I get your last name right, Doctor. Dr. Drazen. Darn. Okay. Was probably one of the top 3 speeches I've ever heard in this district. So the question, Madam President, is, are you going to also condone the NEA's actions? Are we going to distance ourselves from anti-Semitism? Or are we going to follow these radical, crazy union people? Is anyone on this board going to stop the hate? Or are we just going to keep working with the same consultants that bring the same hate, bring the same division? Our famous Dr. Kinde quote is, to stop capitalism is so important. I mean, these are not the things we want to be teaching our kids, that capitalism is bad. These are the things that the Morton administration brought us. The quote from the Philadelphia Inquirer from Dr. Mahan about how there's systemic racism in our schools and that we must work to rid it. It's all a lie. It is a
Mr.
complete.
Short,
Yes.
please refrain from defaming members of the staff.
No, I didn't defame. I just said it. My opinion is it is not correct. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Is there anyone else who would like to make a public comment tonight? Please approach the microphone.
Max Kukafka, Cherry Hill, speaking exclusively of my own personal opinions, despite my role as one of the new representatives from Cherry Hill East. I hope you are all doing well tonight. I have a comment, very small, regarding policy 143.2, which governs the student representatives to the board. All of us new representatives were recently made aware as we began our tenure that there is a caveat in the policy that prohibits both representatives from the same school sitting at the table during the same meeting at the same time. We were advised to alternate every meeting who would be sitting, which so far has worked, but we all feel that it is far from ideal. I believe that I speak for all 4 of us when I say that allowing both representatives to sit at the table at the same time would help our ability to represent the student body, as well as foster collaboration with each other. Personally, I can see no downside in this change, and I respectfully ask Mr. Mayor and other members of the P&L committee to consider this as they review the student representative policies in the coming weeks. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you for your comment. We appreciate it. Looking back online, I don't see any hands raised. Going back to the room, is there anyone else in the room who would like to make public comment? As you approach the mic, I just want to remind any students online or in the room that you can always speak first if you would like to, although you don't have to. I just want to throw that out there that you don't need to wait till the end of the meeting to speak. Go ahead, Dr. Yaris.
Dr. Yaris, Cherry Hill. First off, I want to acknowledge this is Carol's winding down her time in the district. Ms. Roskoff, you've been here forever. It feels like you're going to be giant shoes to fill. I know Wes is still trying to fill your absence there. So thank you. I know you're not going far and you're not going to disappear on us, but thank you for all your dedication, all your time, everything you've given to our students over these years. I know my children will benefit for a long time as they head off to West and everything else that you've done. So thank you. Quickly, the NEA, just in case none of the board members had a chance to catch up on it. On Friday, the NEA executive committee voted it down, did not embrace what the rest of the teachers had done. Thankfully, there was a lot of great effort from our community and elsewhere saying that this is a really terrible idea. And thankfully, they all agreed that it was a really terrible idea. Getting back to more local news, if you hadn't had a chance to visit East right now over the last 2 weeks for the summer enrichment program, which I think is now year 3, one of the most incredible things to come out of the pandemic money is this program. My son was part of the first one, has now gone back every year, looks forward to it. It's really fun. You get to see educators who are great in the classroom teaching their chosen subject, but it's really fun when they get to teach your passion. And for these 2 weeks, our teachers are teaching their passion. They're getting teachers from all across the district. You've got teachers from Rosa, East, Carusi, Beck. So I think that the elementary schools are all there, and it's just a really great opportunity. My kids are going to kick out of the fact they're having teachers who I had are now coming up. I'm getting a kick out of my teachers feeling old. But only results you feel. So it's really grateful that they continue to do this. Mr. Ansert and Mr. Falat have done a wonderful job steering it this year since Mr. Davis moved up into administration. He did it the last 2 years. And just you walk in and you see the warmth. Kids are excited to be there. Even being in a school in the middle of summer, it's just you see so much level of excitement that I hope that we continue to fund this program. It's been awesome. It'd be great to further expand it because we've got really great educators who really fun passions to get to expand it out. So please try to visit the next 2 days before it wraps up. Thanks.
Thank you for your comment. Is there anyone else in the room who would like to make second public comment this evening? Seeing no takers in the room, I'm looking online and seeing no takers online. I am going to close second public comment. Moving on to superintendent's comments.
Thank you, Ms. Winters. Just a quick comment. This comment this evening about, and frequently comment about consultants that the district is working with, consultants that that myself have promoted. It's not true. Information is not true. I suggest that either provide evidence to speak to the truthfulness of those statements that are being made, or please refrain from making those statements. If Mr. Short, if you want to engage in a conversation with me about what we are doing as a district, who we are working with, I'm open to having that conversation. You know, I've called you in the past. Let me know if you want to have a real conversation, and we can definitely do that. Congratulations again to those who have been appointed this evening. I think there was one question this evening about whether we conduct exit interviews. And yes, the district does conduct exit interviews upon the resignation or the leaving of employees. Other than that, I'll say have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you so much. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Mr. Fain, all board members in favor? The meeting is adjourned.